Take a second and think about the clothing stores or websites you've shopped at. I can almost guarantee you've purchased from at least one of these brands at some point in your life. Now, this isn't meant to shame or criticize anyone. I used to shop at many of these stores myself. Like millions of other people, I was drawn to trendy clothes at affordable prices. What I didn't realize was that behind those low prices are hidden environmental costs that most consumers never see. Fast fashion isn't just about inexpensive clothing, it's about pollution, textile waste, and the ethical choices behind what we buy. So, what exactly is fast fashion? Fast fashion is a business model that rapidly produces inexpensive clothing based on the latest trends. But fast fashion isn't just about inexpensive clothing. It's about a business model built around constant consumption. Social media has accelerated trends so quickly that some companies now release 50 to 100 micro seasons every year, compared to the traditional fashion industry, which typically releases only 4 seasonal collections. Companies know consumers often wear these clothes only a handful of times before moving on to the next trend. Because of that, many garments are intentionally made to be inexpensive instead of durable. More than half of fast fashion garments are thrown away within a year, and clothes today are worn 36% fewer times than they were just 15 years ago. Fast fashion has made disposable clothing feel normal, and that's where the ethical problem begins. Environmental ethics asks us to think about how our choices affect both the planet and future generations. Fast fashion goes against the principles of stewardship and sustainability because it encourages overconsumption while using enormous amounts of natural resources. The industry consumes 98 million tons of non renewable resources and 93 billion cubic meters of water every year, produces 8 to 10% of global carbon emissions, and is responsible for 35% of ocean microplastic pollution. The problem doesn't end when we throw clothes away. The average American discards 75 to 80 pounds of clothing each year, and around 75% of textile waste ends up in landfills, even though much of it could be recycled. Many donated clothes are also shipped overseas. For example, nearly 15 million used clothing items arrive in Ghana every week, and about 40% become waste, shifting the environmental burden onto others. Although everything I've discussed may seem overwhelming, there are real solutions to this growing problem. Governments can strengthen regulations to improve textile waste management, encourage recycling, and discourage excessive waste. They can also support businesses that adopt circular production practices and require companies to be more transparent about how their clothing is made. Because the fast fashion industry operates across many countries, international cooperation is also essential. While companies should be held accountable through stronger environmental policies and greater transparency, consumers also have the power to make a difference. Researchers recommend buying fewer, higher quality items, repairing clothing instead of replacing it, shopping secondhand, and supporting brands that are open about their manufacturing practices. Researchers also encourage moving away from today's make, use, dispose model and towards a circular economy where clothing is reused, repaired, and recycled instead of ending up in landfills. I am not saying we all have to stop enjoying fashion, as it is an incredible way to express ourselves. But after learning what fast fashion really costs, I've realized that every purchase reflects a choice about the kind of world we want to support. If we stop treating clothes as disposable and start making more intentional decisions, we can help create a fashion industry that's better for both people and the planet.